In this chapter, we're going to spend a lot of time on functions because they're just so important in a number of programming languages. In fact, there's some programming languages that are specifically called functional programming languages. So it's really important to know this. Now, Python is not strictly a functional programming language, but it does use functions quite a bit. What functions let us do is let us put part of the program somewhere else. And functions are especially useful for things we're going to do multiple times. And we've seen a little bit of functions before. So the first one is really easy, and it's the happy birthday song. So we're going to sing the happy birthday song for a certain person. So we define a function the same way we've always done with define main. We're just defining a different function. Usually you put them above main because you want to load them in, as it reads through the program. I'm not sure if you can put them down below, but we're not going to do that. Generally, you put them up top. So print, and that should have been lowercase. We're going to do the happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you. And we're going to need to do that a couple more times. So I'm going to be a little lazy and do it that way. Happy birthday to you. Now we need to sing for that specific person. So we want to say happy birthday to, or dear rather, comma, person. Oh, and I wanted the exclamation point there. And we'll check if the spacing is right when we're all done. And then after that, we'll print a blank line, just to make everything nice and neat. Now, person is a variable. So we're going to eventually send a name up into person there. We haven't done that yet. Another thing to note is when you do define main, we have to call it. We haven't called sing for yet because when we load the program, we're not ready to sing for anybody. Okay, so down here we'll do names equals, and we're going to do a list here, a list of names. Oh, maybe we'll do 4 names. So what did I do? I did Sue, Scott, Rebecca, and we'll do Kevin. So I've got 4 names in there. Now, if I had to type this out, type the happy birthday song, or even cut and paste, this program would get really long. It would also limit us, because now I can only sing for however many names I put in there. So to do functions, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say for person, let's say for, I don't want to call it person. I want to call it for people in names. There's a reason I didn't want to call it person, and this was in an earlier video. Person is a variable in the function, and that's close to what we would call a local variable. It's a variable only for that specific function up here. And it's really better if you don't use function names in your main program. You want to give it a different name, and I'm going to be looking for that when you turn in some programs for me. So that's why I'm saying it for people. Now what I'm going to do is say I'm going to sing for that people, that person. So as it goes to the first person, Sue, it will send Sue up into person. Now person means Sue, and should sing the happy birthday song. Should do it for Scott, should do it for Rebecca, should do it for Kevin. So I've got a lot of lines of song here, and it was no problem. The reason this is nice is, let's say Kevin transfers to another school. By using that function, I don't have to erase anything other than Kevin's name. Let's say 2 more people come to our school. Okay, Agatha and Elton. No problem, it works. And here's a little thing just to remind ourselves. If we want to do alphabetical order, we could do names.sort. Now you'll notice it put it in alphabetical order. Let me show you that again. This is a list method, names.sort, and it generally, you would use it for words because it's going to sort in alphabetical order. Now let's do something else that I think is really neat here. We're going to use two functions here. And what we're going to do is we're going to adapt this. We're going to have another function define first line. Now, first line is not going to have any parameters. Person, I should have said it before, is a parameter. First line is going to be just that. Now, let's see what we're going to do here. So let me put some code in here. So first line really doesn't do a whole lot for us. It's not a big function. Oops, and that one needs to be tabbed over, so let's take care of that. Now let's talk about what we're doing. We're calling a function from within a function. Totally legal. You absolutely can do that. Now, you want to be careful you don't do... You can get what in old days we used to call it spaghetti code, where it would be, you know how spaghetti is when it comes out of the pot where all the noodles are intertwined. If you get too much calling and you can't follow things, it can be confusing. Now, in this case, I don't think it is. You say, well, how do I know what's going on? Let's look down at the main program. First thing we're going to do is have our names function. Then we're going to sort it just to put it in alphabetical order. That's not 100% necessary. In fact, we could take that out. Then we're going to say for each person in our list of names, sing for them. So it goes up to sing for. It sends Sue up to sing for. Then it says, hey, call the first line function and print it. Call the first line function and print it. Then print the happy birthday. Then call the first line function again and print it again. So it saved us a little bit of time. Maybe not a ton of time, but it saved us a little bit of typing. And let's see how that works. And I have to save it, sure. Yep, worked just fine. So again, we call the sing for function, then the sing for function calls first line. The sing for function calls first line again. Then it just prints the line with the person's name and the happy birthday dear. Then it prints the first line again. So you can call a function from within a function.